Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to read some New Year's Eve themed Reddit stories. Most of them I think are Am I the Asshole posts. So let's see if we can decide on whether or not these people are assholes, or if it's inconclusive, or what we think. Let's go. Let's read the first story. The title is, Am I the Asshole for Walking Out of My STEM Family's New Year's Party and Ignoring Them? That's very hard to tell from the title, I think. I, 25M, am part of a large STEM family. My entire family is Ivy League educated. My parents, 5 siblings, etc. They're all doctors, scientists, and mathematicians. I'm the only one who isn't. Growing up, I was always the black sheep. School just didn't come easy to me. They even had me tested for learning disabilities at one point. I had nothing, but I just wasn't good at school. I spent my entire childhood crying over math textbooks, wondering why I don't get it. Why is it so easy for them and not for me? Art came easy. Literature came easy, but to my family, that was trash and not worth focusing on. It didn't help that they kept sending me to the same academic schools my siblings went to. Those schools were brutal. The competition there was fierce, and kids were literally snorting Adderall to get through exam week. That environment didn't help. Things didn't improve until I moved out at 18 and got a job at a tattoo parlor. I was able to get an art degree, I started writing, going to therapy, and got a boyfriend. My life just got better because, for the first time, I could just be me. My family couldn't accept this, and contact with them became less and less. Every time I meet them, they never make an effort to talk to me about the things I like. They just talk amongst themselves about STEM subjects I don't understand. I try to engage with them, but the things they discuss, I just don't know. Whenever I ask questions, they get annoyed because now they have to dumb things down for the family idiot. The only time they talk to me is to discuss my failure in life. Mostly, I just sit there quietly. That's how my whole life has been with them. Recently, I got a publishing deal for my fantasy novel. I was super excited to tell my family at their New Year's party. The first thing they did was ask what kind of novel was it. When I said fantasy, they awkwardly laughed and changed the topic to my cousin's PhD thesis. This was my biggest achievement, and they shat on it. I told them they were being rude and that they treated me like crap my whole life. They snapped back to stop making a scene, that I had been a difficult child, and to be understanding. I really just lost it then. I screamed that I was never a difficult child. I never drank, snuck out, stole, did drugs, or got into a fight. I just wasn't into science, which isn't a big deal at all. So what if I wasn't good at school? Any family would have been glad to have me. Is that what they were trying to say? I left after that. Since then, they've been trying to contact me. To be fair, they do seem apologetic, but I've been ignoring them. My dad's last text said I'm being childish and I need to talk to them. A part of me feels bad because I ruined New Year's, and a lot of family colleagues were there too, and they witnessed it, which was probably humiliating for them. They work in prestigious, competitive fields, and I humiliated them. Am I the asshole? No, not at all. No, not the asshole. I definitely don't think that this person is the asshole. That's so sad. That's so sad. And how insane is that to have a family like, I guess maybe that's common for a whole family to be into the same thing, like career-wise. That's so rough. And especially, I can relate being someone who has had a hard time in school. I'm definitely not very, I don't know, built like that. Sounds like a textbook shitty family. Fuck them parents. Shit. Yeah. Not the asshole. The reaction could have been toned down and just, go low contact. But yeah, not the asshole. I would be so hurt, though. I would be super hurt. Especially, that's such a big deal. Having a book getting published, that's massive. What an achievement. And to have them laugh at you, that's so sad. I would be so sad if I were this person. So Yeah, can also relate. I sucked in school till I was an adult. Yeah. Yeah, it was really hard for me to focus on things that I didn't find interesting, and math and stuff like that was really hard for me. So let's read some comments here. Not the asshole. It sounds like you just snapped after getting a lot of disrespect over the years. Also, as someone who also comes from an academic family, I can tell you it's a lot harder to get a book deal than a PhD. And then someone else commented, as someone with a master's degree, this is so true. I'm sorry, kiddo. We celebrate you, though, and we're so proud of you. Oh, that's so sweet. Sometimes Reddit is so wholesome. I feel like with years of that, I just expect it, but yeah, heartbreaking for sure. Personally, I think family is something that you never really give up on, or I think most people have a harder time giving up on family when it comes to, you know, getting hurt. You want it to work so bad. Like, that's your people, that's your blood. But yeah, it's definitely not always worth keeping the hope alive for your family members if it doesn't work, the relationships. There is an edit, and or there's actually two edits. The first one says, thanks a lot for the support, because this person was named not the asshole. So, obviously. They said, thanks for the support. I fell asleep after posting this, so I didn't get to reply to everyone. I talked to my dad and asked him to meet me. He said we can meet later today or tomorrow. I'll update you after that. Okay, update. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for the replies. I posted this before going to bed, so I wasn't going to reply. When I woke up this morning after reading through everything, I decided to text my dad and ask him if we could meet. To my surprise, he said yes, that we could meet today even. I was more surprised when I showed up to all of my 6 siblings there. I asked them how they all managed to get time off last minute as they all have busy jobs. My sister said not to worry about it. They shuffled some things around. Everyone looked pretty upset. I hate awkward silences, so I started off. I said sorry for exploding during the party. It wasn't the place or the time to air out dirty laundry. I know I embarrassed everyone and ruined New Year's Eve, but I wasn't sorry about the things I said, just where and when I said them. My brother asked why I exploded like that and how long I felt that way. I told him I had had enough. I started writing my book at 19, and after years of rejection, I got a publisher. Did he have any idea how big of a deal that was? Did he think everybody got published and they just laughed at me and moved on like I was an embarrassment? They said sorry and that they didn't mean it. I didn't know what to say, so there was more awkward silence after that. I just drank my Coke till my dad spoke. He said that he didn't mean to make me feel bad, just that he didn't read fantasy books. I snapped and said, so what? I don't like string theory, but I still ask him about it. I don't like the Eilenberg-Ganias conjecture, but I still listen to when he talks about it. I ask questions and I care. What would it cost him to ask me about my novel? I'm so sick of tired of being treated like the village idiot all the time. Mom said they don't treat me like that. I told her they do. They've treated me like the problem child my whole life. She said it wasn't easy raising me. I started yelling at this point. I'm not proud of it. I'm not usually a person who yells, but I just couldn't take it. I asked her what I did that was so bad. Did I drink? Do drugs? Steal? Cheat? Sneak out? Lie? Fight? Or even fail a test? What did I do that was so bad other than being a below average student? Everyone got quiet after that. I could see my mom knew she was exposed, that there was nothing she could do to defend herself. Then my sister stepped in. She said it wasn't easy with my mental health issues. She's referring to the fact that I self-harmed pretty regularly from 6th grade to 12th. I told her she had the fucking nerve. Remember how in my post I mentioned kids snorting Adderall during exam week? She was one of them. They're the reason I self-harmed, because they made me feel like shit just because I wasn't good at math. Either way, I wasn't a problem child because I self-harmed. I was a child who needed help and love, neither of which they gave me. And if we wanted to talk about problem kids, then we should talk about her drug addiction, because I wasn't the kid that had to go to rehab. Oh my God. She started crying and I didn't even care. Dad told me to calm down, but I didn't want to. I told him I was done. From this day onwards, they were dead to me and I to them. They said I couldn't do that they were family. I said I already had a family, one that loved me for who I am. Dad said we could try family therapy and we could work on things. I asked him why. What did I gain from this? He's nothing more than a sperm donor and the reason for my trauma. Even if we did go to therapy, it won't make what happened to me go away. I already had a loving and caring family. I didn't need them. My dad started crying at this point. I told them all not to contact me anymore. Not for funerals and not for weddings. My eldest brother asked if I might change my mind one day. I told him probably not. I already have a complete life filled with people who love me. With that, I got up. Dad asked for a hug, so I gave him one. Then everybody else wanted a hug, too, so I did, and I left. I'm done. I know I should feel bad, but I don't. I just don't see anything for me to gain. Every time I'm with them, I remember being that kid, looking around the table, seeing everyone talking, and feeling like an outsider because I don't know enough to join in. I remember all of the nights of them trying to tutor me and ending up screaming at me, "Why don't you get it?" I remember the disappointment of every report card, and then I think about my real family and the love that they give me. I don't need them. I needed them before, but not now. Thank you to everyone who wants to read my book. I've thought long and hard, and I've decided to not post my real name here. My books are something built out of the ashes of my childhood. I don't want it attached to them in any way. I know logically it might not make sense, but that's how I feel. This book is my future, and I don't want it attached to my past. I've also seen some comments questioning my post because my family is in STEM. It means that they must be the D&D, Lord of the Ring kinds of nerds. Well, not all STEM folks are like that. The closest I could describe them would be elitist, snobby kinds of nerds. They view fantasy as a lesser form of art. For them, the classics are much more distinguished. And poetry. That's the closest I can describe them. Think Leonard's mom from The Big Bang Theory. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. I don't know why it always ends up this way, but these stories always are like... Can confirm sometimes it's much easier to go low contact. I speak to my parents for 20 minutes a week and that's it. Yeah, I hear ya. I do relate a lot to this guy. I to this day remember crying my eyes out at a family dinner table with my father shouting at me because I couldn't write the character F correctly. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that, Teal. It's very, very difficult to handle expectations like that as a child. Very tricky situation, but yeah, in this situation, they were all just mean, in my opinion, and judgmental instead of being appreciative of somebody that you love. You know, it can be so easy. It can be the easiest thing in the world, even though someone's doing something that you don't know anything about, or if someone likes something that you might have no clue about. Asking questions is not a difficult thing. And being like interested and appreciative of this person, it should not be that difficult of a thing, you know? It's okay not to like the same things, but be interested in the people that you love and what they enjoy, you know? Showing interest costs nothing, yeah, and it makes you feel so loved, I feel like. We have more stories to get to, guys. We have more stories to get to. But yeah, this person is clearly not the asshole. I feel so bad for them, and for this feels like so unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like, this didn't have to be this way. It didn't have to be this way, but their family are just so like set in their value system that they are losing out on a relationship with this person. And I feel so sad for the person as well. Just the pain they've had to go through for fucking no reason, it feels like. Really sad situation, but I hope that they're better off and can heal off with the people that love them, you know? Okay. Let's read next story, guys. Am I the asshole for not inviting my friends for an annual New Year's trip because they didn't invite me last year? This is a throwaway because 2 of the said friends follow me on Reddit. I hope they don't see this. So anyways, my friends and I have been traveling for every New Year since we were 16. We are now in our early 20s. It's a friend group of 6 people, 3 girls, 3 guys, and naturally we all dated someone from the group at some point in high school. The guy I used to date and me broke up in 2020 but stayed friends. He found a new girlfriend a few months after that. Let's call her Amy. But I was okay with it and we all continued to hang out. Now, New Year 2021 is coming up, and we start to plan our trip. We were supposed to go to Greece. Usually, I'm the one talking to the agencies and trying to save as much money as we can. Everything is fine and going well until about a month before the trip, my ex best friend comes over and tells me that Amy is uncomfortable with me going on the trip because everyone is coupled up and I was single. And given my history with her boyfriend, she felt awkward. I felt sorry because I never got the feeling that she didn't like me or anything. So I asked if that means that she's not coming or what. Turns out that she still wanted to come, just didn't want me there. I was kind of hurt by this, but even more when the rest of my friends agreed that maybe it would be better if I didn't come, so there would be no drama on the trip. Anyways, I didn't go. Kind of stayed away from Amy and my ex since then and stopped hanging out as much with all of them. Not long ago, Amy and my ex broke up. I don't know why. And now this year's trip is coming up. I already have plans with my roommate and we're going to Amsterdam. When my friends learned about this, they just assumed they're coming with us as well. I told them that roommate and I are going alone and that if they want to go, they can plan it for themselves, but that this is not a group thing. It's petty, I know, but feels right to do to them what they did to me. Anyways, they called me some names and we had a fight. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe I'm in the wrong. I mean, I'm ending years-long friendship over some stupid trip. So am I the asshole? What do you guys think? Ah, yes, incest friend groups. Yup. They're quite common, aren't they? The group is a bit of an a-hole. It's petty as hell, but like kind of fair. I don't agree. Do you guys think it's petty? I don't think it's petty. If a whole friend group that I've been like hanging out with and traveling with every year all collectively agree that like I can't come just because a new person in the group says so, to this thing that we've done together every single year, like that's so unfair. And of course, like that's their decision if that's what they want. I wouldn't want to go if people didn't want me there, you know, or like didn't want me there enough to stand up for me. But I would definitely be like, okay, well, I don't feel that safe with you anymore. I wouldn't want to go with them either in the future because I would feel so, I don't know. For me, friendships go pretty deep. I guess I do have a lot of friends that I wouldn't view as like best friends. And maybe in a group like that, I wouldn't really care. But then same thing, I probably wouldn't like put the effort into that group either. Going on a trip with someone, like traveling with someone like that, it takes so much money. Like that's an investment to go on a trip with somebody. That's such an investment. And then I would much rather put money to go on a trip with people that I feel truly appreciate my presence and truly love me, You know, I don't think that's petty at all. I don't feel this is as petty as it sounds, even if she says so herself, as they were the ones excluding her at the start of everything. It's only natural she went off and started planning trips for her own self now. Oh, I think so. I think so, Daphne. It's a little bit petty, but if they turned around and called her names, then their friendship wasn't that strong. I feel like you get to choose your friends, so how would you be the asshole here? Not the asshole. Who needs friends like that anyways? Like, make her do all the planning, then say, sorry, Amy is a bitch, so you're not invited. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, it's not like she planned to get back at them for a year. It just seemed to happen like that. Then she decided to not consider them in their plans, just like they did before. It seems like a normal reaction. Oh, I think so, yeah. There's a whole world out there of less shitty people. It's a beautiful thing, I think. When you get up in your 20s a little bit, closer to your 30s and in your 30s and stuff, I feel like you learn what you like. Like, that's what life is about. You learn what you want to accept and what you don't want to accept in relationships, etc., friendships. And it leads you to be able to know when things are good and when things aren't, you know? And in your 20s, it's completely fair to not maybe keep all of the relationships that were with you from your young age. Because it does take a lot of energy, and you want to put energy into things that you want to put energy into, you know? There's people for everybody. And everybody isn't for you. So, there is an update for this story, and I think we should read it. Hey guys, it's been a while. Sorry for taking so long to update. I got logged out of this account and couldn't get in. Anyways, there isn't really much to tell you all. I'm still going on a trip with my roommate. We actually got a few more people to come, so it's more like a group thing now. None of my old friends, though. Considering my old friend group, I did see some of them a few times and cleared some things up. My ex was actually the first one to apologize to me. We talked a lot about everything, and he is actually separating himself from the group as well for a bit. Not because of this. And we're on good terms again now. 2 other friends came as well and apologized. They said that they believed it was ridiculous to bring Amy since the beginning, but of course didn't say anything for the sake of peace. I get it, and honestly, I'm not mad at them anymore. At least they're sorry. And for the rest, we're not talking anymore, so I guess that's it. Thank you for all of your rewards and upvotes, but more importantly, for your advice. Couldn't have done it without you. All of the love. Good for them. Good for them. And yeah, good that at least some of them were like thinking to themselves, you know, that this is really a really strange situation. But yeah, good that they talked it out. This seems like a perfectly reasonable person writing this. The OP seems chill. Because it didn't sound like they had like this big angry reaction to the people excluding them from the trip. They were just kind of like, okay, that kind of hurts my feelings, but okay. And then just did the best out of it and planned a trip with somebody else next year. Like, queen shit. King/queen shit. King/queen/royalty shit. You know? Okay, next story. This is another Am I the Asshole? Like I said, most of these are Am I the Asshole? I think we might do 1 or 2 that are not. We shall see. We shall see. Am I the asshole for skipping New Year's Eve at my child-free sister's? Last week, I hosted a Christmas for my family. I, 33M, have a 2-year-old with my wife. Every year, it's at my sister's parents' or my house, and it rotates every year. One of us hosts Thanksgiving/Christmas/New Year's. In the last year, my sister, who is vocally child-free, got a dog. I love my sister, but we are very much opposites. When I had my kid, it changed our relationship a bit. She tolerates, her words, my son. She has never watched him. I have also never asked. My son is present at all family functions, and this annoys my sister. My sister has turned into your classic dog mom. The world revolves around the dog type. I do not own dogs and really don't want to be around them. I don't want them in my house. Well, my sister wanted to bring her dog to Christmas, and I said no. It's well trained and overall okay for a dog. I just didn't want it at my house or even my yard. She complied and left it alone, but was not happy about it and let me know that several times. The day before New Year's Eve, she told me kids weren't welcome at her house. I was taken back by this and asked why. She just said alcohol would be present. We all drink and family friends also come to this party. And just said it wouldn't be appropriate for a 2-year-old to be present. My wife and I had planned to stay until 10 anyways, and then would go home because of our kid. We reconsidered and opted to not go at all, and respected my sister's wishes by keeping the kid at home. I let her know a half an hour before the party started. Wife and I treated it like any other night. We didn't even stay up until midnight. By 11, I noticed missed calls from her and didn't answer. I fell asleep while texts started coming in, calling me an asshole, calling me a dog hater, saying it was rude to not come to the party, said it was bullshit that she got my kid a Christmas present, but didn't get her dog anything. The list went on. She was clearly drunk. I tried to call her, she didn't answer, and got a text. I'm not answering, asshole. So am I the asshole here? That's a strange story. Yeah. Sister is the asshole 100%. Not the asshole. No one is the asshole, but they really need to grow up. Yeah. I think that it's fine to not want kids, but if your sibling has a child and you love your sibling, like that's a part of them. They made a human. I'm sorry, that's insane. Can you what? That's so cool. It's fine to be I feel a little bit afraid to babysit maybe if you feel afraid to do something wrong or anything like that, but that's all fine and dandy and you can have that conversation. But yeah, I don't think this person is I don't think this person is an asshole for not going to a party. I can understand why the sister hosting the party might feel disappointed if you've put a lot of effort into a family function, or you've made a lot of food, or you've whatever. It can be really, of course it can be disappointing when people that you want to kind of impress don't show up. That might be the way she feels about her sibling, but do you have the right to call them and text them 70 million times and tell them that they're an idiot? No, you don't. Why would the sister be obligated to work as slave labor to watch after your kids in the first place? But the sister took it a bit far. I don't think that they're saying that at all. They're just adding this she's never watched the kids. I've never asked her to. I think that that's a fair point to add into the story for context. Although I get it. Personally, don't enjoy kids running around when getting slammed. That's fair. I don't hate kids. I just currently don't want kids. And yeah, my nieces are different. Yeah. Hating on a nephew is diabolical to me. I hear ya. Barking. Comparing a human child to a dog was weird. Why did I get your kid a present when you didn't get my dog a present? Oh yeah, that was funky for sure, Kenna. That was funky. That was... It paints a picture of this sister, definitely, for sure. Should we just do another Am I the Asshole? Let's do it, guys. Shit. This was posted 6 hours ago, guys. This one's fresh. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my sister's boyfriend attend Christmas dinner after what he said to my husband? My sister has been dating this guy, Jack, for about 6 months. She's head over heels for him, but my husband and I aren't his biggest fans. He's been ... offhandedly rude a few times, but nothing major until recently. Last weekend, we hosted a small family dinner. Jack was invited, and things were going fine until Jack made a comment about my husband's work. My husband is an elementary school teacher, and Jack apparently thought it was funny to call him a babysitter who actually gets paid for it. My husband tried to laugh it off, but I could see he was hurt. My husband works so hard and genuinely loves what he does, so I snapped back and told Jack that at least my husband contributes something meaningful to the world, unlike people who just mooch off their girlfriends. Within parentheses, Jack is unemployed and lives with my sister rent-free. Things got tense and Jack stormed out. My sister later said I embarrassed him and that I should apologize. Now, Christmas is coming up and my sister asked if Jack could come to our family dinner. I said no. I told her he wasn't welcome in my house until he apologized to my husband. She called me a hypocrite for demanding an apology after what I said about him. Our parents are staying neutral, but my mom did say it might be better to just let it go for the holidays. So, am I the asshole? I didn't buy Jack, but just to insult him more. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, dude, it's such a red flag when, like, you're dating somebody and your family and friends don't like them. Like, it is not good when that's the case. You embarrassed my loser boyfriend after he insulted your husband. Apologize. That escalated quick from a dumb joke. I have to agree that, like, that was a crazy, like, that escalated 0 from 100. What? 0 to 100 so quick. I'm assuming that this person, the OP, I'm assuming that OP have been, like, harboring just this, like, hate and this resentment about this man, about Jack, for such a long time. Because she's saying, or they're saying, that their sister's been dating Jack for 6 months and that he's been offhandedly rude a few times. That's all they're saying. So I'm assuming that they're, like, kind of pissed with him already and kind of just, you know, this was the last drop of them being like, you know what? Fuck you, you know? But yeah, I don't think I could ever say this to somebody, especially when it's like when there's somebody you love's partner, even if they're a massive asshole. I don't know. I don't think I could ever say something like this. Cause that's a crazy, oh my God. It, like, hits so hard. Has to be some pent up anger. Yeah. Some frustration that did escalate, but I respect the quick comeback. Damn. He's probably very insecure about his situation since he stormed out. Yeah. Someone in the comments say, LMAO, he's insulting your husband for being a teacher when the guy is unemployed and leeching off your sister. The audacity of this clown. Not the asshole. Fuck that guy. I feel like sometimes you fight fire with fire. Will it work? Do we have an update? No, because this is 6 hours ago. I'd never date anyone that treated anyone poorly. I've been on dates where they treated the server rudely and I've ended the date. Oh my God. So good, Jin. Yeah. I could never either. It is so extremely unattractive when somebody treats you really well and then other people like shit. What a little freak. That is such a red flag. I wonder if there will be an update. We should keep an eye out. We should for sure. Anyways, okay. Next story. Title is, Am I the asshole for leaving my boyfriend's New Year's Eve family gathering after what I was hearing them say? A little background info. My boyfriend is 25 and I'm 24. We have only been together for 5 months and I have not met his family yet, besides his mom, until yesterday. Around 6 yesterday, I drove over to my boyfriend's aunt's house. She was hosting a family gathering for New Year's Eve. I met up with my boyfriend who was chatting with his cousins. I met them and my boyfriend took me around to meet everyone. I didn't drink because I drove myself, but everyone else was drinking, including my boyfriend. Everything was going fine until his grandpa sparked up a political discussion. I'm not political, so I wasn't really interested, but the conversation went towards a more racist tone. I am 1/4 black. I don't really look black, but I obviously don't look fully white. My boyfriend is fully aware of this. His family began talking about black people in general in a bad way, and his grandpa started specifically talking about people who have died to police. I fully checked out and left whenever I heard the N-word drop. I didn't let my boyfriend know I was leaving, and most were too drunk to even see me leave. I got home and slept, woke up this morning to a message from my boyfriend asking me why I left. I told him his family were being racist, and he said they weren't being racist to you. That's what they were just like talking about. He was telling me I shouldn't have left without him knowing, and that I'm just looking too deep into it. I don't know where to go from here. I haven't messaged him back, and I'm not sure if I'm going to. Am I the asshole? Girl, no, you're not the asshole. You should probably break up with your boyfriend, because if they don't like, just everything about this is wrong, you know? This is basically the reason I don't care to have contact with my extended family. Yeah. Walk away. We don't have any room for that. Yeah, stay the heck away. Yeah. She should have let me know. His family are racist. Yeah. Definitely. She needs a new boyfriend. Yeah. That's so different. Not racist towards you. Oh, it makes it all good then. Yes, of course. Not the asshole streak. Yeah, we haven't found a single. Should we go on Am I the Devil to try to find one? Or to find one where they are the asshole? If you don't know, Am I the Devil is basically a Reddit where they've collected Am I the Asshole stories from corners of the internet where like they are so clearly the asshole in the story that it's like unreal. I hate the ones like this. Am I the asshole? My boyfriend and his family were literally racist. I left calmly. Am I the asshole? Right? I don't think there's anything assholey with leaving a function where people are being disgusting. It's also so sad because I forgot about that, but now looking over the story again, they were talking about like police violence, which is such a like horrible, heavy conversation. Imagine like even just like listening to that. It sounds just from what they're mentioning in the text here that like that would be traumatic to listen to, you know? My God. Let's read the edit. I didn't see this at first, but there is an edit, so we have to read that. Okay, they said, I haven't been able to reply back to any, so I thought I would make an update. I messaged back my now ex-boyfriend. Yes! Yes! Let's fucking go! Thank God. Thank God. Okay. I told him I was really not comfortable about what his family were saying, and I felt very disrespected when he didn't do anything about it. He knows about my heritage and still didn't say anything about it. I'm incredibly disappointed in him and his family and decided to break it off with him. He didn't take it well. He insulted me and I had to resort to blocking him on everything. I'm not going to mention the insults because they're pretty bad and will probably get me banned. That's it for now. Thank you for all the advice in the comments. What? She dodged a bullet, guys. Oh my God. Dodged the nuke. For real. That's horrifying. Thank God she left. That's so scary. Ugh. All right. Let's see. Okay. I have one. I found one. Okay. So this is from Am I the Devil? Because all of these stories have all been not the asshole. OP has been not the asshole, I feel like, in all of these. So we had to get some drama up in here. Or some, like, someone who's the asshole. So we went to Am I the Devil? But the person originally posted in Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for calling out my parents' favoritism towards some of their grandkids in front of the family and ruining Christmas and New Year's? Okay, interesting. I 40F have 4 siblings. Between the 5 of us, my parents have 9 grandchildren. While we were at my parents' house for dinner and for the kids to get their presents from them, in the middle of handing out their presents to everyone, they gave my nieces, Monica and Jill, a big box and said that this present was from them and my sister and brother-in-law, and it was something they were gonna have to share. They opened it up and it was a PlayStation 5. Many of my nieces and nephews were upset and jealous over the girls' present, and rightfully so. My parents tried to explain that the girls had already expressed interest in sharing one and that their parents asked for help. So instead of the girls getting 2-3 presents like everyone else, my parents put what they would have spent on the girls towards the console and their parents paid the rest. I called bullshit on my parents and told them they just showed all the kids who their favorite grandchildren were. My parents said that wasn't true. They didn't spend any more on the girls than they did anyone else, and that if there were big purchases and we wanted to get the kids, they would have helped and that would have been their gifts to them. I told them I didn't buy that one bit, or else they would have offered to help instead of waiting to be asked. And more importantly, they wouldn't have gifted it to the girls in front of everyone else. Besides, kids don't offer to share things like that. They said that they thought it would be best to do it there so that they could put it into context for all the grandchildren instead of risking the girls saying they got it from Grammy and Pops. We argued about it and I took my kids and left. My parents have been trying to call me since Sunday to talk, and my husband thinks I should hear them out. One of my siblings is mad at me because now their kids are all upset because they believed me when I called out our parents favoring Monica and Jill. Now their kids and mine don't want to go over to my parents' house, which is ruining New Year's for them because our parents were going to watch any of the kids that needed babysitting, and our parents are upset the kids don't want to go over anymore. I was just advocating for my children, but am I the asshole for calling out my parents in front of everyone the way I did? I'm sorry that I read this a little bit weird. It was just very, the sentences were so long with no like commas and no punctuation, so that's why it was difficult for me to read. Why the fuck would you bring expensive gifts in front of people and not just leave it at their car and tell them to open it once they're home? I think because then they would have thought that they didn't receive any gifts, because I think that's the one gift that they got that year. OP coming in with the wrong energy from the get-go. With the explanation of split cost, OP is the asshole in my opinion. I would have to agree. If the other nieces and nephews were upset and jealous, I can definitely see that, because a PS5, that's like the best gift I can only imagine. Like, if I got a freaking PS5, if I was a youngin in today's society and I got a PS5, bruh, that's the best gift ever. But I think sometimes, you know, it can be good for kids to get to experience unfairness when it's innocent like this. You know what I mean? Because they got, like they said, instead of getting kind of like half of a gift, because the 2 grandkids, Monica and Jill, they're gonna have to share the PlayStation, okay? And they got nothing else. They only got the PlayStation. And if you explain that to the rest of the kids, like, kids are not stupid, okay? Kids are smart. They might be a little bit sad and a little bit jealous, but like, it can be a good like learning opportunity of like, I understand that you're disappointed, you know, I hear you. A PlayStation 5 is a super cool gift, but like, you got these other 3 gifts instead. Like, look at the beautiful things you got. I think it's good to explain in these situations, and I feel like it's fair that they got their Christmas gift. I feel like OP is the asshole. I think that like having this conversation in front of all of the kids and just assuming like you have favorite grandchildren, like if that's a conversation you want to have, sure, but don't do it in front of everybody, and like, because then the kids will definitely be very upset about it, you know? I think OP is the asshole because she jumped to a lot of conclusions and made a giant deal out of it. Even if the grandparents might have been able to handle it better, I'm not arguing either way. Like, there was no reason to make a huge thing out of it in front of everyone. I agree, Grace. Yeah. The kids deserve to have their little moment too. Yeah, how exciting for Monica and Jill. Keeping it secret would have made it weird. That explanation made perfect sense. I think so, yeah. I think telling the kids and that the gift is from the grandparents and the parents is the best way to do it. Absolutely. And just explaining, like, you got 3 gifts. They only got, like, 1 to share. Like, I feel like the girls probably feel like they did something wrong with how it was handled. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it creates so much weird stuff in the family to be like, yeah, you're the favorite grandkids, you know? That's so weird. There is an update. There is an update, guys. OP gave us an update. So let's see if this update makes them an even bigger asshole or the other way around. Update. There are other instances of my parents favoring Jill and Monica. They'll give Jill and Monica money for their extracurricular trips and similar things, while my brother and I have aired struggling to pay for extracurriculars for our kids before. My parents say and do nothing except tell our kids that they shouldn't give up on their hobbies/sports when we made the decision to pull them out. My parents have also been made aware in the past when one of us was struggling to get a gift one of our kids really wanted and not a damn thing was said. So no, I really don't believe their bullshit story or excuse that they would have given help if asked. They should have brought it up to all of us if they really were asked to help, so we could have had the same opportunity with our kids' gifts. Since they didn't, they should have had the girls open the gift at my sister's house, not made an entire spectacle of it. They're giving asshole, I don't know. I don't think it made it much worse. She was the one who made it a spectacle. I definitely agree. I do kind of see where they're coming from. I don't mean that they're right. I think that they're very twisted on this. I can understand the emotion behind it. They're so coming at it in the wrong way. It just sounds in their words that their parents are trying their best, and I don't know. I can't really, even in the update, I don't know if is that the OP sounds so angry in their language that it makes me feel like they're not like a reliable narrator, you know? I have to say, if you post an Am I the Asshole on Reddit and you get the verdict that you are the asshole, but you then come back and add an update where you're like, you guys are fucking wrong. This is all the reasons why you're wrong. Like, that is interesting. Like, why are you on here then? Did you just want to like have people agree with you? I guess, but that's like, yeah, that kind of makes you a bit of an asshole. I don't like the energy the OP is writing with. And I think why they're also like an asshole is because they're doing it in front of kids, you know? They're like being super, super aggro in front of the kids and making the kids feel bad probably, which is like, if this was a conversation you wanted to have, you can have it, sure. If you feel like this is like super unfair, it's so uneven between you and your siblings and getting help with your kids and stuff, like that is a conversation you can have. You have the right to feel that way about things, but please have it like alone with your grandparents, okay, and see what they say. Like maybe they are doing that but not at all like thinking about it. Either way, like don't have it in front of the kids. Somebody commented on the original post, info: did your kids get the same value in presents as the PS5? Knowing it goes for about $700 USD plus makes me wonder what small things each kid got that could add up to half of that. OP replied, my kids got $125 worth of gifts each, and my parents said they put $250 towards the console since that's what they would have spent on each girl. The last time I saw a PlayStation 5 in November, it was $359 before taxes, so that means they pretty much paid more than half of the console's value. So your parents put 125 for each girl towards the console and spent 125 on each of your kids. I'm not understanding the issue here. So they did spend equal money on all of the kids for this Christmas. Info. Did you call your parents out in private or in front of the kids? OP replied, I called them out right then in front of everyone. Info. Were there gifts for the rest of the grandkids? And what were they? OP replies, yes, the rest of the grandkids got gifts that ranged from a couple of Lego sets or art supplies to other stuff they like or wanted. My parents said they spent $125 on each grandkid, which is around their usual amount. Comment said, it's not about the money, it's about a big ticket item most children want, and to give it to two children in front of others is wrong. OP replied to this comment saying, precisely this. They should have never given it to the girls in front of the others. And if it was as my parents said, then they should have discussed it with the rest of us to see if they could do something similar for our kids instead of making a show about it. Someone commented, but in your scenario, your kids would have gotten gifts and your nieces would have gotten nothing and just had to sit there and watch. So what you're really saying is that unless your children were the center of everyone else's thoughts, then no one deserves anything. I don't really agree with that comment, but OP replies, they could have gotten their gift from their grandparents at their parents' house and the other grandkids wouldn't have become upset. In your scenario, my nieces were the center of everyone's attention instead of just having them get their gift at their own house. It would have been nicer to explain they got their gift earlier instead of causing the kids to go unfair at my parents' house. More than my kids were upset, and I responded accordingly. So everyone got cool gifts. It sounds like all of the cousins got really lovely gifts. Yeah, these grandparents sounds amazing. They're spending so much money on all of the grandkids. In the original story, OP is the asshole 100%. I think it's only in the edit that they did that they're setting up. Like in the scenario of the Christmas, they are not favoring Monica and Jill. With the edited context, like the added context of the update, maybe are they a tiny bit, like a little bit unfair, maybe, or like not 100% justified if this update is fully true. But I feel like, I don't know, it feels unreliable because they only added this context after being crowned the asshole. You know what I mean? Either way, like whatever the situation is, even if the grandparents are like massively favoring Monica and Jill, it is still, don't bring it up in front of the kids. Okay, I think that's enough for the Reddit reading. What do you guys think?